Hi guys, welcome back. This is volume 18 part 3. So now where we left off in volume 18 part 2, where I was talking about he brought his woman. So it was a white woman, and mind you, the reason why I put emphasis on white woman is because he made it seem as if no, my culture does not accept men bringing home white women. I would never do those things, So everything that this man said he wouldn't do, that's exactly what he was doing. So that's why I put emphasis on the white woman, because sometimes some of these their culture is so strict in terms of who to bring home and who not to bring home. So it's not just African cultures who have these restrictions as it relates to who you can take home to present to the family, but you've got that in the European family, Asian family, etc., etc. However, he made it seem as though this was the case for him, not realizing that this man was never a cultural man. Everything that he wanted was for him. But when it's nothing to do with him, then he brings up culture. If he wants to deter me from bringing up a suggestion or something, then he will talk about culture if it's not benefiting him. That's something that I realized with him as I was delving deeper into our relationship at the time. So I left off on the fact that he was taking this woman back home 6 months prior to me moving with him to his country. And he said that he was just going to go for a quick business trip, as I had mentioned. But then I get to understand that he was using her to fund his campaign. Remember, he's a politician and he had to get lots of things paid for, and that she had money. So he was using her for that because she was an older woman as well. She was even older than him. So it was like a pensioner. It was really sad. But then she didn't look her age, essentially. She didn't look like an old, frail woman. She looked healthy and strong in that sense. Yes, but how did I find out about her? What happened was, I was sitting in his car one day. We were running some errands and we were on the road together. He had come out of his vehicle to go get some things. I don't remember what exactly. But anyways, I was in the car waiting for him and he had left his phone. So then one mind prompted me to take up his phone and search it. At this point, I already clocked his code because this man had this tendency to always change his code. I kept always thinking, why does this man always have to be changing his code? How did I know? Because I'm always searching his phone. Anyways, I'm thinking this man must have things to be hiding. Every time this man changes code, and I would always catch his pattern. I would pretend like I'm not looking and then catch it with my Inspector Gadget eyes, his finger patterns and how he was doing it. So this one particular woman keeps sending messages, cussing him out, saying, oh, you are ignoring me and I don't understand why. And I'm saying, what is this? So she was sending him voice messages after voice messages. So I decided to listen to some of the voice notes. Some of them was long. So I catch a few parts of it. And as I was listening to it, my heart was pounding out of my chest because I was thinking, what? No way. She was ranting. She was like, you're using me. And I realized that you're using me when I was there with you and when you were here with me. Mind you, he was at her house before we moved the last day to move to his country. He was at her house. They were making love and everything. So she was ranting about that. Like every time he would come to her, sweet her up, and they would make love. And then he would just go and then, disregard himself from her for ages. And every time when she called him, he would pretend like he's not hearing his phone and she knows that he's hearing his phone. So she was saying all of these stuff. As I was feeling so heartbroken because what? Like the day before we left to come to the airport, you was at this woman's house making love to her and then you came back to me. Anyways, after listening to the voice note, I decided, you know what? I said, let me just take down her number quickly because I didn't just want to prolong it any further. So I took her number and I said, all right, when I went to his office, because he was coming back, when I go to his office, then I would call her. Guys, when I called this woman, she started telling me every single thing. She even started sending me pictures of both him and her when she was back there in that country, of the excursions that they were going on, all the people that I met that he introduced me to. She had met them too. She was telling me about his niece that was living at the house. She even called her full name, everything. And I was like, yep, this is the truth. She sent me pictures and everything with him when they're both together in the UK, when he's at her house. She cook him meals and everything. And then it makes sense because I would remember, like, every time he would come to me, that, and I said, okay, I've cooked and I've left your dinner. He would say, babe, I'm not hungry. I ate before I came and yada, yada, yada. And I said, okay, but why are you eating? Like, you know that I'm cooking. And I wouldn't have clocked it. And he was like, babe, don't worry, I know I'm going to have dinner later anyways. Sometimes he will, sometimes he won't. And then I would just have that dinner for myself. And I was like, oh, well, it's more for me then. That's what I was thinking, not realizing that there was more to this than just that. Yes. So as I was talking to this woman on the phone and she telling me all these things, sending me all these evidence and that, this man was in his other office doing whatever he was doing on his computer or his laptop. And I was raging with anger because how? And to put icing on the cake, they've been together for 1 year, she said. 1 year at that point, they've been together. Yes, in the UK. So this man had bare woman. When me tell you, say bare woman, both in the UK and in his country. Oh yeah, I went out to him when I felt like I've got enough evidence now into his office. And I said to him, listen, what's going on? Like, what is this? And he's looking at me like, with a straight face. What? Just like that, like what? Then he turned his face away from me to say, like, listen, that is not important. Whatever you have to say is irrelevant. I don't care. That's his attitude, nonchalant, cold, like ice. Then I said to him, listen, I'm on the phone to your woman and I need to understand what's going on. I was under the impression that I was your woman, so I don't understand why all of these women coming up all of a sudden, like what's going on? And then you had this woman in your country. You claim that you don't date white women because it's against your culture. This man said, listen, hang up the phone. Like that. Listen, hang up the phone. I said to him, say, no, but explain to me what, like, so the woman was like shouting now, oh, this is what you're doing. He said, hang up the phone. So I said, listen, I'm going to call you back at some point. I hung up the phone. Because the man workers was at the office. He was not ready to leave yet, but because he realized that things was getting tense, I was getting irritated, he didn't want to make anyone think that he was like a low-class person. This man always want people just think of him of a highly professional person. I don't know why. It made him feel good. I realized that he had past childhood trauma that he had not getting over. So I can't even blame him too much. God bless him. I've forgiven him. We don't speak, no, but I have forgiven him and I have prayed for him and everything. As I sat down in his car now, thinking that, okay, this man was going to say something to me. Because we both left the office now. This man was silent. I was silent too. Until when I decided that I needed to wind the window up because I was just so angry. This man turned around and cursed a big bad word at me and said, leave my window alone. I was so shocked. I was frightened as well, like, so I said, I didn't even say nothing. I kept quiet, but I was crying on the inside to see how this man is just heartless. So I was thinking at this point, is this man going to kill me and then ditch my body somewhere? I was like fretting about that as well whilst we're on our journey back to his place. After we reached to his place now, I saw his niece. So his niece came to meet us. She doesn't know what was going on. I said, listen, can you tell me what's going on? Because clearly, you know what the man did? The man turned around and said, do not talk to her and tell her anything. Yeah, that's my business. And she doesn't need to know anything. That's what my ex said to his niece in front of me. Embarrassed me, disregarded my feelings, belittled me in front of his niece. He said she's too nosy. She wants to be in everything. She don't need to know anything. Don't tell her anything. This time, I was crying uncontrollably. Because I could not believe that I really heard this in front of, you know, even if you're in the hot seat and you were acting nonchalant when it was just you and I was thinking, okay, be a bit more compassionate or a bit more respectful to your woman in front of others so that people don't take the mick with me, right? This man made this girl think that she can trample upon me too. So now at this point, I called my best friend. I was just in tears. I couldn't contain myself. And I was telling my best friend that this is now the first time I'm going to call her to tell her about things that was going on that I was seeing. So she was shocked. And she could not believe. She was like, hold on, Shay, what happened? What happened? What happened? Slow down, calm down. So I'm explaining everything to her. Mind you, this man was on his patio, so his veranda. acting nonchalant like he don't care, cleaning out his teeth with his toothpick and on his phone. Now all respect went through the window. But because I was in his territory, I wanted so much for things to work out, and what I found myself doing as well, I started conforming just to see if he would just comply and be a bit more empathetic. So I started calming down myself just to see if he would say, babe, you know what, I'm sorry. I found myself conforming, and I think it's because I did actually do still love him. I did. I still had strong feelings for him, and I was praying and hoping that he would change. Clearly, this man had no love for anyone but himself. He was a lover of himself because he was a helpful person, and he would go above and beyond for others in that sense. People would think that he's a loving, caring man, but he done it because he always wanted a good name for his political affiliations. It was all because he was connected to politics. That was why he done so much good for others, so that people can vote for him and then he can have the good name. That was all that was. Yeah, so life was going. I became more and more unhappy. The days seemed longer. This man used to leave me as well in the property by myself for days at a time and gone about his business wherever he was because he was punishing me. I realized that it was a part of my punishment. Like, I'm 3 years old, as he would have proclaimed, like, you know, I'm giving him headache. How am I giving you headache? Because of the things that you're doing to me and the things that I'm finding out about your dirty lifestyle? Yeah, he would leave me and gone for days at a time. I don't hear him. He don't call me. And I decided that I'm not going to call him either. So I found out that I had to now fend for myself in that place. I had to go on the bikes myself. I had to take myself out. If I'm hungry, I had to carry myself out to go buy food and stuff like that. And remember, I told you the light used to go every minute. Like, it was just so uncomfortable. When I was alone by myself in the house, it was a bit scary. Like, I'm in a whole different place. I don't know people like that. Even his niece would go about her business because obviously she's a grown woman. But then at the same time, I would be in the house days at a time by myself. Yeah. This man would have people come into the house, like his friends or, you know, neighbors and that. Like, they always would crowd up at his house. Like it's a come to help us home. To be honest, I don't have no problem with that. Come, you know, because I like the little gatherings sometimes. However, if I'm in the house, I have to move about and I'm your woman. You know how some man would let others know that, listen, my woman is around, and, you know, she would need more privacy. So you guys don't stay around this area. Stay around this area instead. No, it took me to say it. So then now I look like the bad guy when he should have been the one to be defending me, saying stuff like that as a man to his woman. Nope, it was me who had to be defending myself. It was just only me for me. This man had no respect for me. And the more I searched, the more things I was finding. Nope, guys, I couldn't even say nothing to my mom. The reason why I didn't even say anything to my mom at that point is because I didn't want to tarnish his reputations to my mom or to my other families. So, as I said, I was praying for this man to change so bad. Like, I really wanted him to change. Like, you guys don't understand. My best friend was the one who knew everything. Just in case anything was to happen to me in that country, she would know and she would be able to shed light to everyone else. And so, guys, thank you for watching, and stay tuned now for volume 19, part 1, when we'll go deeper into the conversation. Thank you.